Hey guys, wanted to check in again. Another day, another mile, another workout, yada yada, all that bullshit. But one of the things that I was thinking about a lot today is the difference between asceticism and self-destruction. And I think that this is a line that is very easy to cross. Asceticism, what is asceticism? Not aesthetics. There's no hipster talk here. Asceticism. 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 Essentially, it means the torture of the body for the good of the soul. There is, I think it's Leonardo. He has a sketch, not a painting, I don't think. I think it was an incomplete sketch of Saint Jerome. Saint Jerome was a guy who used to wander out into the desert with a rock in his hand, and he'd beat himself in the chest with it to bring himself closer to God, to have religious epiphanies. One might argue that a religious epiphany could very easily be confused with a heart attack, with a heart palpitation, but this was that guy's game. And he's legendary because of it. Asceticism, the torture of the body for the good of the soul, torture of the body for the good of the mind, the torture of the body for the good of what it is that makes life worth living. Self-destruction. Oftentimes they feel a lot alike because the comfort that we need that comes from growth is at times, if we are in sufficiently bad a spot, indistinguishable from the comfort that comes from growth can be indistinguishable from the comfort that comes from a type of learned helplessness, from just sort of figuring you're not worth anymore, you're not worth any better. So this garbage lifestyle that I get myself into, it's what I deserve. It's where I should be. It's what I should be doing. There's a quote from Goggins, David Goggins, where he says he was flipping a tire for a mile in the desert or something so fucking stupid. It's only Goggins, right? Only Goggins does these things. Only Goggins has these ideas. And he'll live forever because of them. And flipping a tire for a mile, something like that. He says, don't get it twisted. This isn't to be, I'm not doing this to be flipping a tire for a mile. That's not the point. The point is to toughen myself, to make myself ready for that 3 a.m. phone call that my mother has died, so that I don't lose it. Toughening one's self. Now, what is the physical impact of your mother dying? There's no physical impact of that. There may be physical consequences because of the mental impact of that. But so long as one is using the torture of the body to strengthen the mind, this is a type I live next to an airport. That's why you can hear that airplane. Using the torture of the body to further strengthen and calcify and callous the mind is how we can serve ourselves spiritually. And this is something I'm coming to you with this because this is something that I oftentimes fuck up. The goal is to, I think, strengthen the self through things that might fucking kill you, right? Goggins could have easily had a heart attack flipping a tire for a mile through the desert, up a mountain, whatever it was. I can't remember exactly where it was he was doing this crazy shit. But it would have been real easy to blow a gasket, pass out, and never wake up. There's a line in Fight Club where Tyler Durden and narrator are standing on a city bus, and they see a Calvin Klein ad where a guy is standing, he's got a six-pack, and muscled out, very aesthetically appealing. And Tyler Durden points at it and he says, self-improvement is masturbation. Self-destruction. It gives this little nod. The irony of the situation is that Brad Pitt's Tyler Durden looks exactly like that Calvin Klein model. The deeper irony is that self-destruction, those things which Fight Club started as, are not what Project Mayhem sprung forth from Fight Club. Asceticism is what sprang forth from Fight Club in Project Mayhem. These individuals leading a very Spartan lifestyle so that they could become enlightened. Now, how have I fucked up with this? Why am I thinking about this so much right now? I have so many times found a dereliction towards self-destruction. Namely, most notably, I'm coming up on 35. I can't tell you how many nights I've lost to alcoholism, to the bottle, to absolutely wrecking myself in that fashion, which feels enlightening as a writer, not as a life athlete, right? Not when I'm on the track the next day. That doesn't happen. But pressing those buttons and pulling those levers and getting those drinks certainly feels like it helps to grease the gears that lets the writing flow. But it is self-destruction. I have to tell you that, going back to running outdoors like this, on a track, things like that, it doesn't grease the wheels in the same way, but it does help me write. It does help me produce videos. It does help me do my reading for the channel. Here's the thing. You pound a 750 of Jack Daniels, and you're going to get some writing out of it. You're not going to get any reading afterwards. You're not going to do your push-ups to get stronger. And you're certainly going to have to invest a whole lot of time editing that writing the very next day. So that's, I don't know. That's sort of where I'm at with that. That's sort of those are sort of the conclusions to which I've come. The difference between asceticism and self-destruction, and how easy it is to confuse the two. Because there are acts of self-destruction that can make your creative acts, that can make your progress seem easier to reach at the time. But over the long run, it is just self-sabotage. I think that's all I've got for today. Work hard.